Very good. Thank you very much, Puckett. Well, this game is an interesting one. One, because we could be seeing the Vegas Legion somehow make a run for the winners bracket after quite a while of starting in losers. On the other side of it, a team that shocked and awed us and impressed us at Major number 2 has had anything but fun in the Stage 3 qualifiers. And their HyDra hardpoint is terrible.
Yeah, that's not a good record, but we've seen a couple of teams who have not necessarily played it too much, haven't looked great on it, then all of a sudden look pretty good after some practice has obviously been going on in the background. But yeah, we have been seeing a lot of HyDra recently. Some teams maybe figuring out a little bit better than they have done in the past. Minnesota Røkkr, their breaking percentage is looking really, really slow though. They are sitting at very much dead last. So we need to see some breaks coming in from your SNGs. I'm talking Bance, Afro, have to have a good job within this whole entire game. P2 spawns is what you want to keep a hold of. You've lost them pretty much immediately. Disastrous start for Røkkr.
Disastrous start for Røkkr is basically the tagline for Major 3 qualifiers. I don't know what has happened to this roster in recent memory, and a lot of people wondering too. People that come out super hot at the Major has basically... I don't even know how to really explain it. What a lot of people are hoping is that maybe the first 2 weeks were maybe the blip and that Major 2 wasn't the ceiling. Right now, though, all the talk is going to be about Vegas Legion. Not only do they have this P2, but they are looking much better recently.
Yeah, things have been looking good. Control's still very much an issue, but all point in search and destroy, relatively solid. Good gunfight win for Bance here. Clayster will be hard to get rid of. You dip in the water, you can't shoot your gun, should get traded, and does so. Potential break here for Røkkr.
You see, TJ's waiting for the players to come through. There's so many going against him eventually. They're all good in. Tim gonna go against Bance. Looking for Cammy towards the back, finds a kill regardless. Still looking for Bance, but laying down will eventually get it. It's a big break from Røkkr.
Yeah, nice break comes through. I think a slight frustration will lie in the fact that they did initially have those spawns off the rip, do lose them, and well, they'd be broken back by the looks of things. Afro surviving towards the rear of ruins here. Spawn out for Røkkr, so Afro now going to try and just play spoil it to these potential 30 seconds for the side of Vegas Legion. Looking like it is going to go their way. Røkkr considering choking it. 20 seconds to go. Going to keep the pressure on.
And that's not going to work out for them. The Tacticals maybe they're hoping to get a pick. Keep that scrap time away. Bance also still looking. They're keeping an eye and trying to throw up this battle line to make sure that the Legion do not get through to the spawns of P3. You can see already Bance going to get a pick, but it's not really going to matter. They've got to concentrate on that minimap. TJ has gone the long direction and gets the spawn in, but they are still spawning at the back here, Røkkr.
Yeah, it's super literally spawning inside of the hill because the movement from TJ goes in a little swim and then well gets dealt with. Now sleeping with the fishes, all of a sudden Minnesota Røkkr in a good position. It's a nice rotation in the end. Got a little bit scary with TJ following them all the way around. Now Røkkr, let's see if they can lock this down just that little bit better than they had done over towards P2. P2 statistically is the strongest hold. When it does come down to HyDra, you can pick up the most points there on a regular basis. P3, not too bad either. Bance will find 1 and 2 up top. Good hold so far from Røkkr, who do take an ever so slight lead here, Brett.
And this is almost textbook actually coming from Røkkr. The back spawn, the Legion is going to come through, and that's what Røkkr would try to clear out in the end. And Bance still alive on a 5 streak. And we're off to the races, and Røkkr will be here again.
That was a big kill from Bance because there was a potential for a pinch, but it only would have been for 20 or so seconds. Not sure about the dive out into the middle of the map, but looking at this rotation, you are right. Røkkr are the first ones here. They have been for the most part. All of a sudden, 2Real is left all alone. His teammates should spawn up back towards P3, and it is going to be the ruined side. So you're looking for Bance to try and get the cutoffs. Is the rest of the team now just locking down the spawn? Bance is on there potentially for a pinch. Here's going to be 1. Is he surely going to find a second as well from Bance? Nice cleanup from the side of Røkkr. 40 seconds to play with here.
The Legion will have to go for a heartbreak. Bance is going to do it again, by the way. He's looking for it. Eventually will be hurt by 2Real. That's 1 player down. That's 2 players down. The Legion are swarming here in numbers. Cammy holding the front door into ruins. Attached on the rock as well. And he will get the gunfight. The duo wins it out. They wipe all of Legion away. And now they're ready for the rotation again.
And Røkkr do the right thing there. The first 2 players that drop is actually, I believe, Bance and Afro. They start to force out the lanes. They start to get the rotations, cutting off mid and cutting off all the way over towards P1. They get a little bit unfortunate timing on the gunfights, but now this is a perfect rotation. You can see Temp and as well as the actual Minnesota Røkkr side spawning back over towards P4. It's a P5 rotation. Yeah, okay, it's 50-50, but it couldn't have worked out better for the side of Minnesota Røkkr.
Well, Røkkr are currently leading, but they are trying to get bodies into this hard point. They've got a few clear, but let's find out how clear are the comms with the Røkkr. Listen in.
Nice.
They've coming.
Yeah, I'm watching back door.
In the corner, P3. In the corner, P3.
Hold my door, hold my door.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Nice, top, kill me.
You good.
Top line.
Nice,
Tutorial in time.
Okay, hear that? And pull.
Go for it, man.
Temp was right on me.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
I'm gonna play for
still
it.
pull.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm wrapping left top, you do.
Yeah.
You playing this time?
Yeah, I'm playing copy.
Yeah.
He's top.
Top easy, top flat. Nice.
That's good.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, I don't see
Still
this
spawn in the
guy.
back. Still spawn in the back. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I spawn
I'm jumping in cubby.
Chow time.
Ready?
Yeah, I don't see this guy. Back door thing. Yeah, cubby slide time. Cubby slide time. Nice, good shit.
Go for it. Go. Hero's got a streak. I'm going right.
Wait, I spawned in the back here.
I can streak right here. I can streak on this P1, okay?
I'm going war.
I'm going deep.
Hey, you could have spawned by me, I guess. I'm swimming in war here.
Are we done?
Oh, bridge heady, tell
Yeah, bridge heady, nice.
Might be two now. Wait. I'm blocking the back. They might spawn out.
Yeah, one's gonna be P3. I'm coming up pushing here.
I'll be here. I'm here high. Ready,
Yo,
jump across. I'm here top window.
One shot.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, Røkkr are throwing comms left, right, and center, and somehow are pushing Legion back again. Cammy finds multiple kills. And Legion, they had this rotation P1. They were spread out completely for it. Now they're just trying to hold on to P2 spawns.
Yeah, they committed nice and early at the end of the first rotation to get themselves all the way around. It was a slow and steady duo that made their way through. They are going to continue to hold these spawns just about in the end. Having somebody up top dome is crucial. They wouldn't mind some time over towards P1 as well. Looks like they are going to get it. 15 seconds remaining here for the Vegas Legion. TJ yet to really arrive. 3 and 12 from him. We'll need to step it up. The team are really in this game still. Rotation over towards P2 coming in 3 seconds. Those spawns still belonging to the side of Vegas Legion. Keep an eye on Bance now. The Ripman does indeed get paid. The Ripman, well, is about to get killed by the looks of things. Yeah, there you go. Temp will find that towards the back. Rotation to P2 belongs to Vegas Legion.
Huge here for the Legion. They managed to get back into P1. They settle this game down. They've locked down P2. Time is now ticking. Røkkr will want to try and rip this away as quickly as possible, but it is a very hard break. Here comes the cruise missile to make it possible. Do they have the tax and nades flooding into the hill enough? No! Trophy will stop it. They haven't got anything from it either as they now try and swarm and get in. But they just haven't managed to get it. I'll take that. Bance through the back. 2 real taken down as well, though. There is a small opening as a tax flies in. Somehow finds a kill on the 2 real. It is chaos in P2.
And that is a big 20 seconds if they can hold it down. One player towards the back is going to be KiSMET. The small silver lining that you should take if you are KiSMET as you should spawn with your teammates over towards P3. Spawns towards the back for Røkkr. KiSMET, yeah, he's over there. All of a sudden, Afro left on his own and should be dealt with in just a second. Continued to survive, goes for a swim. Is it a pistol fight in the water? No, it doesn't need to be. 2 real will be the one to find it. So it's a nice break in the end from Vegas Legion, but you have to say, P2 looked good for them. There's been a couple of occasions both these 2 teams have had control, and they both lost it multiple times so far. So not the most efficient HyDra game we've ever seen. P3 not looking too bad for Vegas Legion so far.
TJ going to get a few more kills on the board, and he is finding them now here. That is Røkkr sent all the way back to P2 and the Shadow Realm. They're going to really struggle to make any sort of play of this as they want to. They probably want to contest it, not give away the full seconds, but it is looking like not only is TJ turning up, but so are the Legion.
And that's kept them well away. Kept them so far away that they might well choke it. And for the Minnesota Røkkr, you've got to get on the rotation, but there is a potential pinch set up over towards that scrap time. You'll take the 15 seconds. You'll also take plenty of bullets from Temp if you're Cammy. And now this rotation is looking more and more like the Vegas Legions. Bance holding down the back runes, just making sure that those spawns don't go the way of the team in orange. Now it's going to be a stack over towards the back. Vegas Legion in a good position to defend this. Are they aware of where Røkkr are pushing from?
Oh, I think they know exactly already. Players falling. Bance and Cammy. Ultra last year. Røkkr this year. But they're actually just stuck between a rock and a hard place. They aren't pushing. They're waiting for the pinch of their teammates to come through. Legion will keep soaking this time in the meantime. And eventually Cammy making the kill. Will Bance look for TJ at the back? TJ is waiting. Bance checks it, but TJ wins the gunfight. But there are not enough players here from Legion. That is a break from Røkkr.
It's a nice break from Røkkr, but it's one that took a while to set up. Unfortunately for the players who are back ruins, everybody else is coming back over from P4, P3, and now you've got to try and hold it down. We talked about breaks being an issue for both these 2 teams, but it hasn't necessarily been too much of a fault for either one of them. KiSMET will find a kill over towards the ruins side. That last 10 seconds looking like it's going to go over to Røkkr. It's going to be about a 60-point lead by that time we head over towards the next hill. They will clean that up. A lot of pressure coming from the front already here, Bryce, as well. Legion have to be holding fast.
Bance looking for this pinch around the back as well. They're trying to get as many players into the shot as possible. A fight towards the back against 2 real. 2 real says, I'm not having it. Gets out of there as well. Legion will soak up the first amount of time as fights take place everywhere but in the hill.
Break starting to come through.
It's taking so long.
I mean, he's trying to disrupt the spawns as best he can. I don't think he'll know that there's another player to his left-hand side, so should get dealt with. He will do. TJ now going to start forcing the issue from the back. Everybody from Legion towards the back. The Minnesota Røkkr not far away. TJ with the first kill should disrupt this. It's a nice break again. It's all over the place, to be honest with you, Pricey. Both these two teams teetering on the edge of finding a break, teetering on the edge of finding the spawns. Now it's Røkkr towards the back. They can just about win if they get in the next few seconds. Looking unlikely. Legion, the final 10 seconds on its way. Rotational gunfights ongoing now. Looking over towards Bance. He's going to be going up against Temp, as every single second will go over towards Vegas Legion at the end of the second rotation.
It always feels like Røkkr are trying to play perfect. The Legion are just so good at steadying the ship whenever they get into trouble. Bance still here, still playing the L, still trying to do everything he can. Finds it, no, it's going to be attached. Looks for a gun, though, too real. And now it is split here. If you're the Legion, you've got to move, you've got to go. There's one player through, it's TJ. He's going to find the first on the Bance. He's looking for the second, but he's under fire from attach. And now they get into the hill. The rest of the Legion are running for this, but they're not going to get there in time, surely. As the 2 kills fall, and Røkkr take HyDra. But it was anything but clean. It is a weird game, that one. Røkkr tried to play it perfect, but every time it didn't go their way, they were either hesitant or they got broken by the Legion's brute force. A weird game of hardpoint, and it's probably just HyDra.
I think it is just HyDra. We've seen it a lot more, and whether or not the teams have got the spawns on lock, well, I'm not too sure if that's actually even possible at times. The Vegas Legion, yeah, I think they'll feel a little bit hard done by. Look, the Røkkr played that one well, but Legion on a couple of occasions had some decent holds, some good rotations. But we talk about these breaks and how little they come through on HyDra. We've seen a lot of breaks there, Pricey. These two teams ranked at complete opposite ends of the scale, which is maybe a good indicator as to why the records sort of lay where they were. Vegas at 5th in break percentage. Røkkr were dead last. I feel like they would have helped their stats out on that one. Plenty of breaks falling their way. It's a 40-point game. And Røkkr now with a lead in the series. Hey, last time around that they played the Vegas Legion, it was on stage 1 online. It was a 3-2 victory for Vegas Legion, and Røkkr were the ones to win map number 1. It was at aBeZy Hardpoint. But they're more than happy to take away the HyDra. That's their first win on this map in particular of the season so far.
It is, and I kind of want to shout out TJ for both good and bad things. Realistically, first set of rotations, not good. Second set of rotations, much, much better. And like 3 kills in the first set is never a good time. But to recover from that point and get as many kills as he did, it definitely helped them come back a little bit. But yeah, you can see there in the kill in the highlights, 3 and 13 is not amazing.
No, I think you're very right. He did come back and he did start to be more impactful. But I mean, then you ask the question of, well, if he puts up more than 3 kills in the first rotation, maybe we don't lose. And in the end, it wasn't necessarily a massive deficit that they lost by. It was a 40-point game. But it's that kind of situation. If your sub doing the dirty work is going to find kills here, left, right, and center in the second half. If it does it in the first half, maybe we win the game.
Yeah, I think we can chalk it up to a slow start.
Very slow.
And if you're the Legion, yeah, that is obviously not ideal. You are trying to make a run to winner's bracket here for Major 3. But you regained, you recovered, and you almost took it. You can see the KD there not being amazing. Attach actually having a really good game, just holding it down for them. It's funny as well, I was going to say this, you see Cammy has gone 19 and 21, but I felt like I kept seeing Cammy making 2 pieces. I was actually a little bit shocked when I saw the scoreboard.
I think one of them was actually with the Bance Nev as well, over towards P4, if I remember correctly. It was a nice hold over towards the Rune side. But I think kind of what epitomized that HyDra for me was that second rotation of hills over towards P4. We've seen that the Vegas Legion kind of won that rotation, but we've seen Røkkr force themselves all the way towards back ruins, lost the first couple of gunfights. They didn't panic, they didn't just send it through. 2 players towards the back ruins stayed alive. They waited on their teammates who spawned mid to start pinching through the front, and all of a sudden it was a wonderful break. And almost the straw that brought the camel's back in that sort of sense. It was looking as if Legion were coming back into the game. They set it up lovely. It was very patient. It kind of reminded me, it was reminiscent somewhat of the old Ultra days of how they would play very team orientated. It was very slow, well communicated, and thought out. Really nice break from Røkkr, and we've seen a lot of it. We haven't seen any of that at all from Røkkr. As I mentioned, they are the worst team in the game at breaking hills on that map in particular. I'd like to say that that's been completely wiped out now. That was a nice performance from them with breaks aplenty, but holds weren't necessarily the best from them either. They will have to work on it, but I'm sure they will not be worrying about that right now as the search and destroy is coming up. And this is where they have been struggling immensely recently. 7 straight search and destroys in a row have went towards the opposition. They need to turn this round very, very quickly, because you look at this team, Bryce, you look at these players, search and destroy should very much be their bread and butter.
Yeah, unfortunately for Vegas, it usually is. The actual stats for Røkkr are not good. Ever since, if you can cast your mind back to Major II, and they choked that 5-3 lead against Atlanta in the winners final, 7 S&Ds down, and the rest of the stats aren't fantastic for them. They're just not having a good time. I don't know what is going on with this squad, but redemption here will kill the dreams of Legion.
Well, maps 1 and 2 before this series started, Minnesota didn't have a win on either one of them, Mikado included. HyDra now has been broken, so can do the same thing when it does come down to Mikado and break that 0-7 spray. It's a nice first blood for KiSMET to find A control. Now over towards the side of the Vegas Legion. This bomb will be down. It'll be 3v4 retake here for the Minnesota Røkkr.
Yeah, this is always incredibly hard. As soon as you give up Cantina on the defensive side, if that bomb goes down, any sort of retake is never going to be easy. Attach is going to be looking for a pick here. You see him waiting for it, trying to find the angle, hoping somebody's going to peek balcony. Right now, nobody is. So they're going to go through tunnel. 2 real against Bance.
Oh, you heard him, and Bance still guns him. KiSMET will be there for the trade. KiSMET will nearly be there for the 3rd kill as well. Afro up in your face in Cantina is never something you want to see if you're a Vegas Legion fan, but has it just taken too much time, I wonder? Temp now left all on his own. 9 seconds. It's 2 pieces for both players. It's Temp to clean up the final one, though. Afro does a fantastic job to find the route through, but just not enough time to clear your corners. We'll have one. Attach can do very little about that. Nicely done. I don't think he would have time anyway, Bryce.
No, maybe not. I'd be honest with you. I thought that game was over. Afro finds 2 kills out of nowhere. And all of a sudden it comes down to just a crazy 2-piece by Temp who had to make it. Let's see though. Røkkr on the attack this time. Bit of craziness in the first round, the S&D. Let's see if the second round is as good.
A lot of traffic over towards the hedges. Attach now looking to try and find a pick. No SMGs from the side of Vegas Legion quite in yet, but TJ will shut that down. Afro will be the first one to fall after Attach. Well, of course, flying KiSMET 3 versus 3. Look how stacked this bomb site is.
Cammy's going to find TJ. Found one more, but it's going to be all close combat. Tyrell will go down to Bance. Temp trying to get out of there, and down he goes as well. And Legion playing a little bit more of a compressed defense, trying to make sure they didn't lose control of the bomb site. It's what a lot of teams do. The trophies went down. They even got first blood. Unfortunately, when it comes down to the gunfights, they do not come out on top.
And it almost felt like, for the most part there, that the Vegas Legion pushed and just didn't want to go into Cantina. And as soon as they did, they were actually numbers down. And then when they did push in, Afro's already there and waiting. Big kills falling through for the side of Røkkr to get themselves on the board. Defense has been the struggle for the side of Minnesota Røkkr. 1-7 overall. 1-8 now after round number 1. And they managed to lock something in here. A bit more of a passive approach from them this time around as well.
Tyrell though, beautiful first blood. TJ.
Look at B, yeah.
Hasn't found anybody yet. They're like ships in the night. They pass close but have no idea each other is there. And we're going to find it back on the KiSMET. And I will say this, the double flank is about to hit.
Yeah. So Vegas Legion will be setting themselves right. TJ's over towards B. He hasn't found any information. Let them flank and see if he can find something. But I don't think for a second that they'll think to themselves that Bance is behind us as well. 2 real gets dealt with, and yeah, that flank from TJ is looking pretty nice now.
Oh, that's a long-range fight to take. And there are players everywhere. Afro's going to take him on and will eventually take him down. The issue there actually for both teams is that Bance's flank was a little bit faster to engage. Neither team thought somebody was going to be behind them. And TJ may have found something, but Cammy finds a kill into A site as well, and it forces the Legion to rethink.
And that's a difficult one because you can kind of see what the plan is. Vegas Legion have got themselves set up over towards A. We're chilling. Okay, we got Cantina control. No problem. Not really under too much threat here. We found first blood as well. TJ, if you ain't seeing anything beat wrap round, let's wait for you. We can pinch them from here. Just never materializes. As soon as Bance finds that kill on the flank himself, it's absolute danger zone. And these are some good shots coming in from Afro. Where's the comms? Far too easy.
Oh, Afro's found 3. The ace lined up for him. Clayster versus Afro for the ace, and Clayster will take him down, denying it. A 1v3 here for Clayster if he can make it. But Attach will shut him down. No dreams being made in that round.
I just don't understand how Afro can push through mid-tunnel. Yeah, okay, it's not necessarily something that would be watched massively early doors for the side of Vegas Legion, but how can you push through tunnel, fire his gun, throw a grenade, and then fire his gun again without anybody from Vegas Legion landing a bullet? I just do not understand how that can happen. Somebody's got to turn around. Somebody's got to try and get a trade there. Comms just not quite on point for Legion in that scenario. Finding themselves behind now by 3-1. This is getting significant, Brycey.
Oh, TJ's going to try and make a play here. Dead Silence already popped, flying through tunnel. And has got a bit of control of the bomb site. This is better for him. Going to go up top. Going to find Attach. Going to find the feed, but it will be taken down by Afro to begin with. The control still lands here with Legion. They just need to make sure that the sides are safe. They don't have full tunnel control. Cammy's going to be there. Has to get out with his life.
Bance was there ready for the push to come through to trade it if necessary. But that bomb is now down. Bance on the rotation. The flank is going to be set up. First blood will be crucial.
They have to time this correctly. They want to hit every angle that they can. Unfortunately, Clayster will get them first. Cammy looking for one as well.
Wow.
But Clayster finds 2. And a 1v3 here for Bance. But Clayster's going to get this kill as well and just nails him to the wall.
Minimum 3 for Clayster. Not 100% sure if he found the first, but he will not really care about that anyway. Vegas Legion finding themselves around to get back into this, and that's a crucial one. 4-1 down is a lot different to 3-2. There's the first.
There's the first.
Yeah, and he stays in the same position, so I think it's Bance. It's actually Cammy towards the back. Knows exactly where he is. Guns him anyway. It was 3 kills for Clayster in that round. It's interesting because honestly, they just made the same play as Afro did in the previous round. Doesn't really get as much of a value from TJ, but here we go, over towards A again. Everyone's here.
Oh, Clayster's a great nade in the window. Doesn't hit anything. TJ in a good position as well. Attach is going to have to retake this, but TJ is waiting. The Legion actually in a fantastic position. They've taken so much control away here. The Røkkr will now have to check their corners and fight their way into the bomb site.
This is what you don't want when you're an attacking team. Over towards the A side. Well, you don't want to lose control of Cantina, but you've lost control of Hedges. If you're Vegas Legion, TJ's still here. But do they have any information on him? They've just found 2 kills over towards the site. TJ could be the catalyst for Legion to get themselves back into this one. A second kill would be huge. The comms are not there. 2v2.
Dead silence. Out goes TJ. Out goes the fly as well. Can he find a third? Spraying through the door, looking for it. Teammate now backing him up as well. And Legion have found something in this 2 versus 4. But they need to keep digging Cantina out. TJ again up top. Dead silence about to wear off. He's looking for Afro. He finds a third. Just Cammy left. Guns him. Oh! Cammy finds it 1v1 versus Clay.
Goes to the challenge. Cammy gets around the corner. Clayster finds the shots. He's gonna get there. He's gonna get there. What a round from TJ.
Oh my goodness, Røkkr just sold the boat down the river. What on earth was that? TJ did everything. Røkkr thought they had it, the bomb site, the lot.
And the problem is, it's because Bance pushes forward and finds those 2 kills towards Hedges and doesn't get traded. The last place you think TJ is going to be is inside the Cantina. The first 2 kills I found, they know he's here. But Dead Silence has popped. He's basically Superman at that stage. Clayster on a 4 spree. He'll be the one to clean up over towards the end and defuse the bomb. 3-3. 2 rounds in a row for the Vegas Legion. Nicely played.
And so far, this has been the difference. When Legion get control of a bomb site, they really hold on to it well. Cammy, though, will get first blood, and that's going to cause them to take a back step. Bance is going to be on the flank again here, but they get more kills, and now Bance's flank is late. Somebody will probably be watching this, and they're going to know he's here, Dead Silence or not.
He had no information because Attach had to back down from Hedges, so he's making that push a little bit blind. Now the bomb's going to go down. Bance can just far too easily push up the tunnel, but he will get traded. He can find this first kill. That will be massive from Attach. Good shots on the Temp, who doesn't back down. 1v1.
Attach versus Priestahh. Who wins this 1v1? Who blinks first? And a little bit of timing. Attach is not going to see him. Oh, and he had it locked in. Priestahh has had an incredible S&D so far. Wins the 1v1. And look at this. He's just going to see him pop up. He wasn't expecting that exact angle, but as soon as he's made himself aware, Clay don't miss. 9 and 4.
That's quite a few kills in a row now for Priestahh. He'll be sitting pretty, maybe one off a cruise. He may well have it. That is a huge kill. Attach finds it. It's all of a sudden a very different scoreline. It was the cruise. 4-3 up. Cruise missile in the back pocket. Big hit coming in here from the side of Røkkr. This time around, Legion haven't stacked over towards the A side. Big kill's gonna have to come in here from Cammy. Does he know 2Real is here as well? I don't imagine he will do. 2Real doesn't find the shots. Big gunfight here.
Oh, Cammy needs to stay alive. There are so many guns in the Legion. Looking at him. He goes for the chow, though. And that's got him down. They're trying to get this bomb down desperately, but there are players swarming. Legion have control into the tunnel. 2Real's going to go for the bang. And now they're surrounded.
But what's the plan? Where is there a crack in the defense? Dead silence pop by 2Real. Bance is going to see him. Throws the shoulder. We'll have to back down.
Bance finds the first. Priestahh down the back alley. Looking for where Bance was. Bance is no longer there. They are playing this slow. Temp's going to fly in. Bance will take that kill as well. Clay outnumbered. And he falls. You could argue Cammy getting that first kill, staying alive as long as he did, gave Røkkr the time. Chal or not. Just couldn't find their way back into it.
Yeah, the Chal was questionable. But at the same time, the information gained. Never a bad thing for the side of the Minnesota Røkkr. They managed to hold it down. And then, as soon as 2Real doesn't find anything with the dead silence play through tunnel, it's always very difficult. I think it was Priestahh and Temp left alone. Not a lot you can do without dead silence in that situation. 4-4. What a great S&D this has been.
Oh, Røkkr this time. Running up for the stack here. Trophy's going to go down. Bance will be playing solo. Afro's gone close. Dead silence popped, but he is weak. 6 health. Gonna try and get up top. And he's done it. Dead silence as well. He's going to be looking for a kill off of this. 2Real's already got one. Afro will get one back. Looks for the second. Gun down he goes. And Bance is miles away. It's a 1v3 for him.
Big shout out from TJ to the headshot multiplier there. Bance dead to rights anyway. 5-4 now to the Legion. And honestly, Afro plays that as well as he can do, but the second shots from TJ is pretty much what solidifies that round. If Afro can find that kill, it's a 2 versus 2 instead of a 1 versus 3. Different story. Vegas Legion map point. Not too far away from tying this series up. Minnesota have looked better in the search and destroy. Yet to get the job done though. Vegas Legion, one of the best search and destroy teams in the game, would like to hope that this is signed, sealed, and delivered, but the search and destroy has thrown up a few surprises so far. Will we see any more?
That is a nade barrage to end all the barrages. They committed everything through that. Afro will get the first blood. No trophies deflects that many grenades. Oh, they're trying to get another one over. Close is a bit close, and TJ Afro's caught in the corner with his knife out, trying to do a bit of movement speed. And TJ again, superhero, dead silence, off to the races. But nobody's here quite yet, and Temp will find Attach. TJ will look for some more kills, and he falls into a pit of them. And they all get taken out, and the Legion get their S&D moving. For Røkkr, they're looking to set an S&D losing streak that rivals the winning streak of Atlanta FaZe.
That's it in a row. Search and destroy. Just not clicking for the Minnesota Røkkr there. And even in round number 10 there towards the end, you find the first blood. And they're just a bit static. They choose not to make their move through. They get picked apart. Vegas Legion back into this series. It's a big, big game from the young man himself, Priestahh. 10-4. Cruise missile didn't even need to get used there, Bryce. Sitting pretty.
Really didn't. Great job of kind of contesting any time that a team gets into Cantina. That's why they're so dangerous on this map. And I did say, I think when it comes down to that bomb site, when Legion got into it, they looked more comfortable. And they also fought a lot harder to keep it. When you saw the other side, Røkkr, in the later rounds especially, he's really struggled.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind, Røkkr with 3-1 up there. That's a big turnaround for the side of the Vegas Legion and Search and Destroy. But look, their Search and Destroy overall has looked phenomenal. We talk about it nearly every single week, how good they have looked in Search and Destroy. Those clutch moments, the 2v4 will be the turning point, of course, from TJ when he does find 3 inside of Cantina. That's ultimately what makes the difference there. And we have this series poised very nicely heading into the control press.
We really do. It's kind of a tale of two sides for these teams, but we'll have to find out how it continues in the control. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you for more Call of Duty League after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. You join us for Minnesota Røkkr versus the Las Vegas Legion. Currently sitting 1-1 in this series as we head towards the control. Realistically, Røkkr looked all right in the hard point, and Legion looked better in the S&D. I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Great analysis from you, of course.
I know, deep.
No, I think you're right, though. You know, we expected the Vegas Legion to definitely go on to win the Search and Destroy. That's 8 in a row now. And losses for the side of Røkkr, so nothing too surprising there. But it was the fact that it was actually the first win for HyDra Electric for the side of Røkkr in map number 1. That's a nice one to take away. Hotel ain't been great on the control side of things either for the side of Røkkr, but Fortress had usually been their go-to. They've lost 4 in a row after being 13-4 overall in control, so Hotel is where we go. Hotel is not something they've succeeded in very often, but Afro finding 3 to kick up the defense is never a bad thing. Now you can extend over towards the B side. You got plenty of presence over towards A. Nice stuff for Røkkr.
And Legion just slow rolling it until they can find out exactly where Røkkr have put themselves. Lost all map control, and TJ flies at Bance and gets the kill. And another kill by 2 Real now means they should swarm on the restaurant, but they're already going for B.
Got to keep it in mind, if you are Røkkr, not to overextend over towards the A side. That's a lot of presence over towards B now for Vegas Legion. You can start to go for it. Stack it if you can. Røkkr towards the back now. You do have Cammy inside of bedroom, though. He will be able to find 2. Couldn't actually see him because of all the Vegas Legion arrows over towards here, but that's 3 for Cammy in bedroom. 5 in a row to kick off the control and overextending all the way over towards A. He knows they're going to be spawning kitchen side. The collapse is about to come in.
And he's moving. Well, he's got his dead silence. He's trying to get over there as quickly as possible. Slams open the door. Sees the feet attempt. Goes for the chow. That's another one for Cammy. Cruise missile in. And Røkkr are going to try for this. And they've got one from Afro. They've got a little bit of a pinch going through, and they've got it. They've also got a player over towards BT. Attach is just sitting over at B just in case. But the spawn's still hitting kitchen.
Great start for the side of Røkkr. Still opportunity here now for the side of the Vegas Legion. Bance trying to hold an off angle, but the rest of the team are here. They're ready to deal with them, but Clayster and Temp will combine. Potential for Vegas to extend the round at least. Cammy will have a look. He's got his cruise missile. 8 and 2 to kick things off. Somebody out there is whispering, Cold War Cammy is back. We've seen it too many times. We've seen the odd map here and there. I need to see some consistency.
Well, let's find out, because Legion have still got themselves alive in here. They are down in lives, but a full minute to play with. Priestahh moving fast, but can he get here in time? The snaking against Bance isn't going to work out right then. And a few more kills go against it. Real will clean up the mess that he left, and that's 3 down. And he got his attach! And the Legion are in! They shouldn't be, but Real finds 3. And Cammy has to call in the cruise.
Has to invest it. Surely trophies will be on the point, but hey, let's find out. No, okay, never mind. Finds the 2 onto the box. That's what makes the difference there, I think. Cammy having to invest what was a streak that shouldn't have had to have been. Minnesota Røkkr hold on, but 40 seconds to go. Legion still have a chance. Lives not on their side.
And now if they can hold them off. Do they know the Bance is here? They do. Real finds him again. Nobody in bedroom now here for Røkkr. Backs against the walls.
Gotta just pick them apart. If you are the Vegas Legion, Attach had to win that gunfight. 2 HP. Is it a dream for the Vegas Legion? The push comes through. TJ is here, but Bance will clean up one. TJ left on his own. He will be dealt with. And will be around over towards the Minnesota Røkkr. Not without the drama, though. Not without the stress. 12 and 4 from Cammy was honestly needed.
What a game. We start off with TJ hot, then Cammy hot. Real finds 3. So here's the cruise. We're talking about it. So I know a lot of people worry about these. I worry about these coming in, but realistically, what the cool has happened there on the minimap is every nade in the world has hit that point.
Yeah.
You can even see them starting to go off. They have thrown every nade and tactical they can.
The trophy goes milliseconds before that hits. Sometimes you don't know. That's the thing. Sometimes trophies are there and sometimes they don't work. I don't know what to tell you.
Just to be clear, that's why the cruise missiles in rank play don't work. It's because your teammates aren't throwing their grenades at the point when you need them to.
It's a big hit over towards the A side. That TJ will just about rebuff, if only momentarily. Minnesota Røkkr will get some presence over towards the A side. You got to be careful if you're Legion. Røkkr, do you take, well, not necessarily the bait, but the opportunity to push up towards B? No. Sensible option. Lock in if you can. Hold down mid-map. Keep the presence on. If Attach, his job is anything here, to keep somebody out of bedroom.
I think Attach's job is to keep as many tickets as possible in the bank of Røkkr. That's only his third death as we go into this second one. And at the moment, it looks like Røkkr will settle for A in restaurant. Tyrell having a little peek in the corridor. He has made it so far. More players reinforcing for Legion. With the kills already going through, they might try and retake.
I think he was just waiting on one kill coming through so he can make his move, but unfortunately for him, Afro very aware of where the push is coming from. KiSMET may well have a little look here. Oh, and if you're Afro, you just aim out at the wrong time. Cammy left on his own. A is secured. I'm a slippery little snake. Doesn't matter, temp. Manages to deal with him. The kills will start to come through for the Røkkr though, and pushing towards the spawn of Legion is on the cards now.
Yeah, Bance is going to go down. Player waiting an engine for him. So here's the benefit if you're Legion. You can keep them away from B completely. It'll obviously be a tick in your favour. Legion managed to get one onto B before they got taken out by that cruise missile.
Look at the overextension from Legion, 2 real. That's actually, I mean, based off 2 maps of hotel control, sitting as the KD leader. And does come down, I think, specifically on this map. But yeah, Afro, you got away on him, but still no bedroom control. That's ultimately the problem for Røkkr.
Yeah, they've got to wait.
It's going to be a pinch,
can do nothing. Yeah, Attach just has to sit here. They're actually going to pick him out of the back before he can do any more damage. And that now means the Røkkr have to go a considerable distance to get back into it. It is going to be a hard fight in the bedroom.
Sorry, my bad for interrupting, but you can see already that Røkkr wrap all the way through kitchen and tried to get bedroom control here. There's going to be 1 kill. TJ will trade it. Having 2 players in here for the biggest Legion works out perfectly. You can just keep everybody at bay as long as you can. And yeah, Røkkr can fall towards the back, but it doesn't matter if you don't have bedroom control. If you can find 3 towards the back and get 4 guns aiming towards that bedroom, then yeah, great. But easier said than done, Bryce. These are big kills.
Taken down. There's a lot of bodies. There's a lot of bodies here for Røkkr. It's still going to be a hard break. They've got to look for the players in the corners. And
oh my God.
Clay. Only 1 player left. TJ Halley. Can he be the hero they need? Because they need him now. He's going to try and strike while the rest of the team are in range. That's what he's waiting for. Strike while the iron is hot. Afro's waiting. Going to see him as well. TJ ducks back out. The rest of the Legion are streaming through the mid-corridor. They're trying to get here in time. Clay gets a second. Bance gets 1, but TJ is causing issues just by being alive.
And the spawn actually coming on behind him because he hasn't pushed up very far at bedroom. The Røkkr still have an opportunity here, but TJ will find 1. It'll shut it down as KiSMET finds 2 towards the bar. Nicely done from the Vegas Legion. They stopped that second hit from going in as well. 1 more roll of the dice if you're Røkkr. But TJ just staying alive is enough on occasion. Afro, he's touched the point.
Yeah, they got the second tick.
Oh, they got it.
Wait a minute. TJ has to stay alive again. He finds 1, but he's been stunned. He needs to have a look for as well, but they're waiting. Bance gets it, and Røkkr.
No way.
1.6 seconds, and Røkkr find the win. That is outrageous. The very last second, and Legion collapse.
Well, all else fails. Jump on the point, throw a stun inside bedroom, and well, pray for Jesus and just hope that it comes up through for you. They find the gunfight, and TJ was there the entire round until it was lost with a 1.6 seconds to go. That is a crucial, crucial moment in this control. And just for clarity here, Røkkr are not just the worst team at hotel control, they're worst in offense, worst in defense. Yeah, okay, it's a small sample size of 3 maps. They've been working on some of these maps that haven't looked great for them.
Oh my goodness, Bance gets gunned. And it's still to play for the Legion. They just have to win this attack, get back on the defense, take it to round number 5. It's happened more than once. How solid is Minnesota's defense?
Well, at one stage in the previous attack in round 4, the side of Legion, it did get scary for Røkkr. So there is opportunity for Vegas Legion to find themselves back into this one. Find an attack. Yeah, okay, you're back on the defense. See what you can do. Afro, though, as good a snake as anyone. KiSMET will find 2. Bance will follow up with 2 of his own. This may well just be delaying the inevitable over towards the restaurant side. This will now start to fall through the side of Vegas Legion. Attaches here. Afro with a close spawn as well. They may well actually think about taking over this once more. Good control from the side of Røkkr here, knowing when to find that push, knowing when to not overextend. They've slowed down the push over towards A. I expect Legion will still get a hold of this, you would imagine.
Yeah, Temp's going to lock it in. A little bit dangerous because Røkkr obviously didn't want him to get it, but really couldn't sell because they had to make sure they got B. TJ's already going to be back over there in bedroom. Bit of a fight, Afro versus TJ, but Afro will get it before he does any more damage.
Yeah, finding that from Afro was pretty crucial. The rest of Vegas Legion finding their way onto the flank. Attach is managing to deal with it, but the fact that they found somebody in bedroom when something could have been quite dangerous like this. You've got no presence over towards bedroom, no presence over towards the mid-map. You can see Bance now starting to make a move over towards the couch's side. You need to hold to the back if you're Røkkr. And Afro with the Vaznev, locking down car park. May not necessarily be the best way to do it, but makes it work for him.
Røkkr still watching their flank quite heavily. This is where it gets dangerous for teams. They lose a gunfight in the wrong position and Legion will move in. Attach trying to stay alive against Clay, so a bit of a shooting going down. Heavy stack for Legion in the bedroom. I believe Bance is by sofas, and we already see Afro potential to go across catwalk if it goes wrong here. So many players stacked. Attach finds TJ. The rest of them going through. Clayster actually backs out of it. Bance finds Temp, but the kills have not fallen for Legion yet.
And you can see that Røkkr were maybe a little bit tetchy in their defense there. They didn't want to make a misstep because they had no presence over towards the bedroom side. They eventually do just slowly, meticulously work their way through mid-map. They're not able to hit the shots on the Bance, who has found 2 to regain bedroom control. They're penciling their name down as a control win here in map number 3. Oh my god, Bance! It was 4 losses in a row in control. They're looking to end that, Bryce.
They are. And Legion faltering. They cannot find a kill. They cannot find a position. They can't even find Bance through a doorway if you're too real. And 8 seconds left to go. It's the miracle alive. They're moving into position. One of them will die for it now. Bance goes for position already. Looks for the first player. Doesn't matter. The kills don't fall. And Røkkr get the control.
Haven't won a HyDra all season at 0-4. They take it. Haven't won a control in their last 4. And yet they take it. I don't know what to tell you, Brycey. It's another one of those games where the stats tell you one story, the game tells you another. Minnesota Røkkr showing some of the promise that we all know is in there, and I think that's where some of my frustration lies, especially with being a mildly biased British commentator towards them. But it is one of those scenarios where we know what this team can do. Pulling up a 2-1 lead against the Vegas Legion is the kind of result that Minnesota Røkkr should be looking for. It's the form that we've seen at the Boston Major that inspires that hope for them, but this is much more like the standard we know they can set. Can they close out the series against one of the very, very solid teams in the league, in Vegas Legion? I feel like they have to do it in 4, but the inconsistency lies in this team so often that you just don't know what you're going to get. Well, it's good Røkkr today.
Also, I just want to shout out Attach again. Like, that is respecting tickets to the maximum. Barely dies in any round. Just keeping them a life advantage firmly on their side. And this was crazy by 2 real. I thought that was going to be it.
And only for Cammy actually having a really good start to the game, but they were able to not go on to lose that round without that streak. Yeah, well, game they maybe don't necessarily have it signed, sealed, delivered the Vegas Legion, but they're in a fantastic spot. The streak works out. They made sure they got their tax on that, and as we've seen in the replay, it was a very, very close point in terms of that trophy system still being up, and that would have stopped it. And then Røkkr with 1.6 seconds to go. In fairness to the Legion, it's 2 really clutch moments from Røkkr that actually go on to win them the game in as short as time possible. This third defense, I think, honestly, Vegas Legion, you're all at sea at this stage. You lose round number 2 with 1.6 seconds to go. You were in a really good spot to win round number 1. Chalk it up. Let's go to map number 4.
And I still couldn't tell you who's going to win this series.
No idea. No idea.
Not a clue. Does Røkkr win that control? Statistics against them, but somehow got it done. 1.25 in KD total, and like I said, Attach a 2.25. Just doesn't die. That was the crazy thing. Like, he was playing calm and passive. He even say some of the times when they were on the defense, he was just a solo player sitting at B, making sure nobody took advantage and they didn't lose it too quickly.
Low on the interaction front, but I think, you know, as you said, when it does come down to control, you sit defensively. You don't necessarily need to pull up any trees in terms of engagements, at least anyway, just wins the ones that he does find. That's a 3-0 hotel control for the team that was worst ranked on defense, the worst ranked team on attack. Just won 3 rounds in a row, Brycey.
Yeah, that's pretty much how our statistics work most of the time. Start calling out a trend, trend instantly ends. We'll have to see, though, who has it in this hard point. Who can go further? For Røkkr, a relief, a break from the despair they've been feeling since the start of qualifiers. 0 and 3 this team currently. It would have been their 6th loss in a row. And considering how well they started off at Major 2, this has been a wild ride for them.
Not over yet, though. Vegas Legion will know heading into a hard point that, well, we haven't seen a great deal from on the side of Minnesota Røkkr. They're sitting at 1-0 to a very convincing victory last time around that they did manage to play this map. Vegas sitting at 3-5. But of course, their hard point at the start of the year wasn't necessarily great. So these stats, it's hard to take from. But honestly, I don't even know why I'm reading them out at this stage. It's difficult. One thing goes one way and one thing says another. It is tough to define which way this one's going to go. But what's not tough to see is that Attach is having a banger of a series, sitting at a 1.66. Great hard point, sensational control. Search and destroy against Røkkr at 0.71's probably not that bad either.
So much to play for. The Legion will be looking for what most people have said is a boosted hard point now. The change to 2 real, a lot of people think has improved that game. Well, if it has, they're going to need it. They want to take this to a map number 5, get back on the S&D. For Røkkr, ending it here would certainly help relieve a little bit of the stress they've probably been feeling.
And for the Røkkr, you know, we could dive into stats, but they've only played it the once. It's difficult to really get a good hold on where they sit on this map in particular, but looking over towards the side of Las Vegas Legion, well, Bance deals with them in the middle of the map, should get taken down by Temp. Rotations-wise for Vegas is where they have struggled, but Break isn't looking too bad, sitting at 7th for Break and 9th in rotation, so not the best of stats, but when they do get in there, they have managed to hold relatively well. So rotations are going to be important. If they can't find them, they should do well.
Already a very good start here for the Legion. Afro going to try and get through here. Big kill against TJ. They have lost a lot of time on this P1, but Røkkr are making moves to get P2.
As P2 spawns, you have to really be decided. Afro could be influential here, though. Trying to snake his way out of trouble. Not going to happen. Let's attach over towards the hedge side. Good hold and good start by the Vegas Legion. Needs to be. You need to force that map number 5 here. Winner's bracket is still on the cards. Great hold so far, though, over towards P2. Great pressure coming in from TJ as well. Afro now trying to find this push over towards the hedges. Will find a second. Will just about find his way in on the back of Cammy, finding another potential break for Røkkr.
Well, it's just bullets flying through. They try to wallbang everything. So Temp had nowhere to hide, and one's on a 5 streak will eventually fall. Røkkr finally trying to take some time onto the board. 2 real going to be up top, finds Afro, jumps back through, looking for the second one on the Bance, gets it. Attach is going to be here as well, and he sees him. Looks for the gun, he gets it again. Another 3-piece here for 2 real. And Røkkr, like, what on earth has just happened?
I mean, that's 25 free seconds. Vegas Legion are going to be in about a 60 or 70 point lead heading over towards P3. They're finding the kills. They've got the presence yet. These need to be kills coming in for Røkkr. Afro will find 2, and that will slow this down. Clayster still towards the back, though, causing issue. Oh, wow.
Bance just kind of through a shoulder. Clay tries to fire through, but there's just too much on his screen for him to do much. This needs to be a big hold from Minnesota. Already, though, Legion are going to be stacking. Reinforcements going to be flooding in for them. It will take a second for them to get here. I think the call's been made to stop. They're waiting. Attach already takes down Temp, though. 3 versus Legion. And it will all kick off.
And when you have to take your time to set up like this, you need to make sure that you do manage to find the break. Bance and Cammy holding it down. It's wonderfully done from the side of Røkkr. Bance will pick off Temp's head as well. Rotation now ongoing. TJ, big gun find a win.
Attach, though, is outnumbered. Throws the grenade, tries to get out of it. Might actually go back alley here and wait for his teammates to back him up. Huge gunfight battle erupt. There are so many of the Legion players in attendance. It comes down to who blinks first.
And Attach just thinking if he can push around there, maybe he can find something. Afro inside. The barbershop will find 2, as will Temp. Attach wasn't able to find the push round. All of a sudden, Røkkr locked out of Barber. That mid push that TJ may well be holding. It's the Hail Mary grenade. Finds Cammy. Still holding the mid alley. Røkkr in a really tough spot here. Both these two teams, when they're finding the rotation, they're finding nearly every single second. Looking over towards the next hill as well. Yeah, okay, we're going to get to the races for that in just a second. It's looking like Røkkr are going to walk away licking their wounds, but holds have been prime from both two teams so far.
TJ against Bance, fighting in the middle here. Has to back off as the other players are coming through as well. Attach. Gonna get gunned by 2 real.
Uh-oh.
He hasn't found many kills since that 3-piece. All the way going. Cantina. The fight for the rotation again here. Yeah, been right. Whoever gets it seems to hold it down forever as TJ finds 2 himself. Røkkr looking in the wrong direction at all times.
This next gunfight's pretty big. If KiSMET can find 1 and stay alive, it will be huge for the side. Elite, well, excuse me, what killed Afro? I've got no idea, but KiSMET with the gunny to get rid of Bance. All of a sudden, the rest of Røkkr spawning out. If you are attached, you need to just stay alive up top.
And he's waiting desperately for reinforcements, but it's been called by KiSMET. And he isn't missing. Looking for everybody he can find, anybody in this gunfight. Eventually will go down as Cammy makes 2 as he gets back into the hill. A huge play by Clay after a dark. Eventually it falls to nothing.
But it negates away what Røkkr probably should have had a hold of. You can see that it looked like they chalked up over towards Barbershop. They were not really necessarily thinking about it. 2 players spawn towards the back. They say, okay, well, let's just have a little look at it. They die, and then all of a sudden, it was that constant pressure from Vegas Legion to shut down what Røkkr were trying to do. Attach has to jump over towards it as Cantina is where we go next. Legion not too far behind here. Sorry for the side of Røkkr. The dog's kicking off. She's not happy about Røkkr's performance so far. Legion in the lead.
Afro's going to get taken down as well. Legion have a great opportunity to put this one over the wall. They have a hard lock on this. And nothing Røkkr is doing is working. They keep pre-firing, but 1 kill does not equal it. They are losing the trades. They are losing the gunfights. And they haven't found really any progress towards this. It has been a bitter battle all the way through back alley.
In this hill in particular, it was really a banker for the side of the Minnesota Røkkr when it does come down to it. This one of the outliers. Vegas Legion typically do struggle on this hill, whereas Røkkr have had a lot of luck. And well, I tell you what, the stats once again matter very, very little. Afro will find 3. That will slow down Røkkr in terms of, Legion in terms of their rotation over towards the next hill, but we'll get Minnesota Røkkr absolutely nothing on this hill. They're about 80 behind still.
They certainly are, and Legion are commanding a lead, but are they commanding in the comms? Let's find out with a listen in.
Tell me garage. I'm 1-shot garage.
On back right,
D garage and hill.
We need one back to win the game.
Let's go right.
Yeah, go green, go green.
One's deep over here. Up in mid with you.
One's probably gonna be holding green.
Top RB.
Good shot.
One shot, big rock, 1 shot.
I need a pocket feed. You should die. Just run, RV, you should die.
Back alley. What the fuck? Back alley. What's up? Bump me plat. Bump me plat. Back alley. Back alley. Bump me plat.
He's still RV wall 3.
Let's get plat.
One shot on the stairs. Going barber.
I got him.
Nice, 4. Good shit.
On your right.
They're gonna be here, Don. They're gonna be here.
After mid.
Got 1 right.
Nice.
What could have got by me? Keep watching your right.
Yo, listen, we're up this first. Let's play P1 time.
Keep watching your right, Clay.
After Cammy attach
I
Bance.
think he got by me.
I hear. Yeah.
Go ahead, Stem.
Gate, yep. Fucking shit on, bro.
Bance. Okay, we're missing Cammy. Last kid.
I'm wrapping green.
One
Play
hedge,
P1 time here.
I'm after green.
Yellow man, 1 shot.
They're gonna push you a hedge.
I did it.
Yellow man, good call.
Yo, he's long right now, hedge.
Look at OB, Don. Stay down.
I hear you.
We're going dark or long, I think. He's on me blue.
1 shot.
One is on me blue.
Yellow van, 1 bullet.
I had to run.
They're gonna hedge on you?
Yellow van, 1 bullet, guys. Trying to work
Weak, Z-Truck, Bance. Going God Heady. He's the RB.
Just make
Right there, yeah, Don, right there.
I flanked.
Alright, we're playing time. Where?
Barber, 1 pocket.
1 shot.
And lights and right side hill.
One's got
Lights going short.
cactus.
Lights
Heady,
is
one
short.
shot.
Lights is short.
Bro, it's not telling me.
Don't text
I
him.
spawned back cactus. I'll look over you hill. Let's play this time.
He's trying to make up from
Looking
right
lights.
side
On green.
Lights, 1 shot. Lights, 1 shot.
It's top RB, yo, and 1 right side.
And Legion are still firing in all cylinders. Temp is making it rain on this map and feeling himself. Røkkr in a horrible position and a mountain to climb just to try to get back in.
They've closed the gap price, but it may well be too little too late. The rotations have belonged to the Vegas Legion. Breaks have well and truly been there as well. The holds have looked fantastic. Pricey, this may well be a catalyst up for the Røkkr. If they can find these next couple of kills, things are looking good. TJ, once again in Cantina, finding clutch kill after clutch kill after clutch kill for the side of Vegas Legion. He's the only one alive and kicking here. Nobody really with a lot of control right now.
Well, TJ tries to finesse every single member of Røkkr there. Doesn't get away with it, but Too Real almost guns too. Attached now has to hold the fort. 42 seconds left back on this. It will put Røkkr right back into the game. The Legion don't want it to happen. Already gunfight's going down and Clay gets attached before he can do anything. Afro knows players are heading towards him. He doesn't have the reinforcements though. They are outnumbered here on this hill as his teammates go down. Afro's stunned, can't turn in time. And that is going to be a break from Legion.
Thing is, for Legion, they can't win it yet. It's all about the rotation. If you're the Minnesota Røkkr, who are now off and away, Calista should get traded. He doesn't. Bance doesn't land a bullet, and Calista's locked it down. Rotation looking good for the side of Vegas Legion. It's looking like we're seeing a map number 5.
Oh, it's screaming it. It's smelling it. It's everything. Because there's no way Røkkr can break this in time, surely. Just 11 seconds to go. Clayster sky high as well. A player is going to die to this trade regardless, but Røkkr have to fly. TJ gets the first though. They are all compressed. Clayster gets 2, and roar as you like. That is going to a map number 5. Clayster is happy. He is gunning, and we could see it still go either way in this last map.
Really good performance from the Vegas Legion, though, and I think Minnesota Røkkr will be really disappointed. It felt like, particularly over towards P3, multiple rotations, whether that be P3 or when it goes over towards Courtyard, because obviously we have the 2 hills over towards that side of things. Every single time we went over towards Tin, they just never had that rotation. It always feels like they don't dot their I's and cross their T's and make sure they are clearing every single point out when they're getting over there, and you're losing crucial gunfights. You can't account for that kind of thing. It's one of those moments. They find that kill on the Calista, or at least a trade. You're in a significantly better spot to maybe draw out the hard point a little bit longer, make Legion sweat. But Røkkr cannot get the rotations. Honestly, I would love to see some of the stats on that one in terms of how many times it looked like the initial rotation was belonging to them. They would then lose it off a couple of gunfights they probably shouldn't have, or just don't expect players to be where they are. It's a frustrating one for Røkkr as they lose it by 70, but what a game we've had so far. A map number 5, beckoning on Fortress Search and Destroy. And again, I'm not going to delve into the stats until we get there, but honestly, I don't know if I should even bother. What a game this has been. I'm sure it'll be a great map number 5 as well.
Yeah, and that is what I'm looking forward to, as short as all the fans watching at home are as well. Well, join us after the break here for the conclusion on map number 5. We'll see you there.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are ready for a map number 5 between these two teams. They battled back and forth. The Legion and Røkkr will end it right here, right now. It's time for an S&D.
2-2 in the game, but heading into Search and Destroy on Fortress, there ain't many better than the Vegas Legion when it comes down to this. 7-0. Usually, a lot of teams auto-veto this one. Minnesota Røkkr. Hey, we're sitting at 0-8. How bad could it possibly get in Search and Destroy? Look, I mean, if anything is to go by in terms of stats that we've had for this series, that this one will be a 6-0 for Minnesota Røkkr. But it is hard to ascertain how this one slipped through. Maybe Røkkr have been working on it. I hope they have been, because the Vegas Legion are very tight on this map.
Well, let's see. How is the game going to break down? TJ already into top corner. Already hunting, looking for players. Well, I think he's just in a pixel of Bance. No, maybe not. Gonna find Afro, though, as he slips the net, and they're right next to each other. TJ gets 2! Oh, my goodness. Already Røkkr on a back foot and in a pit of despair.
No surprise to see TJ sitting towards the top of the KD leaderboard when it comes down to Fortress Search and Destroy. A 1.61 on average. May well increase if he has any more rounds like that, but this one is not quite done yet. Tatch and Cammy looking to find a way through. It's looking like a good defensive hold, but Cammy will find the pick under 2 real. This becomes a little bit more doable.
Gonna find a second pick as well. The issue comes when Cammy has to commit to a bomb plant. He's going for it. TJ who's going to move and check as well. The right time, finds it absolutely gunned. Flies out, finds a touch, and it's the ace! TJ gets all 4.
No surprise to see. The first 2 is what makes it, though. Afro finds that... finds the kill onto Afro, and he'd be screaming, how on earth has he just charmed through double doors? And here we go in the big picture to finish the ace onto a chatch. A lovely round from TJ. Exactly what Vegas Legion would have wanted to kick off the game.
And we said maybe Røkkr have been practicing this map, but that coverage didn't work. TJ gets all 4. And Røkkr actually playing super aggressive. They've taken A control. Oh, Afro's horrible position now.
And this may well play into the hands of the Vegas Legion, because they are a team who, from the stats, seem to like to play super patiently. As far as plant win percentage goes, they are the best team in the game. When that bomb is down, they just do not lose rounds. And they're trying to bait.
Afro's trying to bait these players in towards him, so Bance can get the kills. Is it going to work out with that door open? Already players going through. Bance needs to find something here for this to work out, but he's not getting anything through it. And the playbook hasn't played anything. Cammy finds one back for it. TJ has to back off. It's a tricky play, but tricky doesn't mean great. Fortunately, Cammy's managed to find 2.
Yeah, he manages to find another to make this a little bit more ascertainable. TJ just feeling so confident. Yeah, he's like, yeah, screw it. I'm feeling it. Right now, it's another 2 kills for TJ. The guy is absolutely frying Røkkr. That's 2 winnable situations absolutely denied by TJ. And it's just that aggression. When you're attacking over towards that site, you think of these double doors, you think of, okay, let's just get eyesight on it. We don't need to push it. It's not necessary. We can get the bomb down without having control here. TJ's like, yeah, I've got an SMG. Sorry, I'm running at them. Wonderfully played by TJ again. 6 kills, 2 rounds. Well, Brack was sitting at the top of the KD leaderboard on this map specifically. I think TJ will be right alongside him, if not above him, if he keeps this up. Cruise missile acquired already.
Surely not again. Surely they're not going to let TJ in again, and he almost finds Bance. Røkkr, sometimes just a little bit lucky there that TJ didn't get the timing he wanted. 6 streak and a cruise. Røkkr are running scared.
You can see how patient the Vegas Legion are with it, though. They don't try to overstep. They don't need to. They do this time, though. Temp, caught off guard. Now the recharge's going to come in, and of course TJ wins the gunfight, will fall for the very first time. Cammy, with 4 kills of his own, actually, he's been doing a good job with the AR over here. Can he find any more? 2Real, the next on the chopping block. 3 versus 1 now for the side of Røkkr. Make it a 2 versus 1. Make it a round. Find themselves on the board. The patient play this time around for the Vegas Legion does not pay off. Cammy kicking off over towards their side.
Yeah, Cammy's been one of the only players really shooting back on this S&D so far. Just a little bit cleaner from them. For Røkkr, it's a hard-fought round, but a round they'll be grateful for. The Legion look like they seem to be in control most of the time.
What's the plan now? For the side of Røkkr. Bance keeping an eye on the cross. And again, it was something I wanted to touch on last time, but things got a little bit too crazy. Vegas Legion do like to play these attacking rounds ever so patiently. In terms of these rounds when they do get the bomb down, and now they are actually playing in an advantageous situation, they have the highest plant win percentage, but the lowest amount of plants from any teams in the league. So that tells me that they tried to play this one patiently. They tried to take their time. This time around hasn't worked, of course, as the first blow did fall towards the Røkkr, but Vegas Legion are never in any rush when it comes down to attack on this map.
I feel like Afro wants to go, but he's waiting for dead silence. It's just such an excruciating wait. Place to hold his bottom out as well. Bomb still not going down. Røkkr are throwing ammo about. I wonder how much attach actually has left. Clayster could make a play here. Oh, the door's going to be closed just in case.
Clayster not wanting to give away his position. Afro may well just about here and move it towards the top side. We talk about that plant win percentage, highest in the league. Now a 3 versus 3. Can they lock it in?
Afro, there we go. Dead silence has been popped. He finds the first. Pressure now coming onto the Legion. They have the numbers. 10 firing guns, but Cammy's going to be there again. It's 2Real left in a 1 versus 3. Finds the first. Changes position. Can he play time well enough as he goes for it? Back and forth, making a ton of noise. Has to fight Cammy towards the back, and he's still playing them. Røkkr, will they get this defuse in?
Do they know where he's coming from? 2Real. Time's on his side if he can find the first kill. He gets him off it. 2Real, too easy. Vegas Legion, another round. And that is just so well played. He dips and dives. They don't know where he's coming from. They picked the wrong angle. He finds the round.
Look how close this gets. Almost a perfect check, by the way, for the 7.5. Oh. Not only was that pixel perfect to get it before they defused, but he would have hit that at the right time if they'd just gone for it. 2Real played them like fools. No dead silence, no problem. And Røkkr are frustrated, and rightfully so.
Insane players from Vegas Legion. If TJ and popping off, 2Real's clutching up. Temp, well, he's just here for along for the ride at this stage. TJ now putting the pressure on the outside. He's probably feeling it as the Tash will just lock down this side of the map. Bomb down very quickly for Røkkr.
Some interesting movement from Afro, but already the first kill's gone down. And while the bomb is down, it does give a slight advantage to Røkkr, but you can see Legion are spreading out here in every direction. They've given up the site control as well. TJ looking for him. Did he see the foot? Did he see the foot? I don't think he did. Cammy's going to call this one out. Bance will find it, but the pressure from aBeZy as well. Clayster will find Afro. 2 versus 1 versus 3 now. And down he goes as well. A retake from the Legion.
Oh.
And I'd say body shots, but slightly adjacent.
Temp finding the sniper kill over towards the site just to solidify their control. And Røkkr just kind of get the control of the site, get the bomb down and say, right, okay, yeah, advance towards me. Clayster says, no problem. The kills flow through. It's a really nice retake. I keep looking towards the stats in terms of what leans towards the side of the Vegas Legion, why they're so good at this map. There's too many of them for me to read out, which is looking like a very short search and destroy. 2 rounds away now. And look at this stack from Røkkr. This is different.
Got in control, and Cammy, you can just see his shoulder.
A lot of them there.
They're just going to play this slow again, and Cammy's going to be taken out by Temp. First blood one more time. Attach will get it back. And that's actually going to be bombed down towards the back.
Yeah, that's going to be an awkward one. I say this is not something we see very often. We do see a lot of players heading over towards the A side, but Røkkr looks like we're going to 4-stack it there for a second. Now placed it. Okay, well, you can see Attach. You got to team up with a cruise missile. Oh, can you just find the angle? Shots into the arms, not enough to finish him. Attach, well, okay, just have my head as well. Now 3 versus 2, Røkkr. You need this round. You're not going to find it. Afro will then fall. Bance 1v3.
And you take control of the bomb site, and Priestahh throws himself out there with a bomb. Gives Bance a little bit of a hope. All right. Oh! Couldn't swing onto the third. But a situation they should probably have never been in. Røkkr had control of the site and lost it.
Been too many fumbles from Røkkr here. Couple of occasions, it's looked like they are the ones with the advantage on their side. Think of TJ, round 1, pushing up top, finding 2 easy kills. You think of the 2 real round, where he finds the clutch with nanoseconds to go. There are 2 rounds that, well, would have had a tied scoreline had Røkkr managed to clutch up in those sort of situations. They haven't managed to do so far. Here comes Temp. The sniper is out. First blood for Legion again. Will get traded. Afro should be dead right after that as well. He will be. Bomb not down. 2v3.
Do Røkkr have a way back into this game? That is the question. So far, every time they've looked in a strong position, they have failed. They are outnumbered here. The cruise missile is coming in, and they may even, Legion may just take the site. As soon as he is aware, calls will be coming through. Not going to get anything from it, but they lose map control.
Lose map control, you're very right. TJ calls that in just to gain control of the site now. 2 real. Can just get irons down and wait for the players to push him. Attached towards the back. The last one here. Surely he gets challenged. He does so. Legion. Map 5, no problem. Search and destroy. Still godlike. Vegas just looking so good when it comes down to Fortress, when it comes down to search and destroy. They clutch up every single time.
Cammy and Afro defaulting to a very familiar pose. And Vegas take it. The dream is alive for this team. They want the winner's bracket. They have been climbing steadily in everybody's estimations. Whereas Røkkr, well, it's rock bottom. And what a reversal of fortune. 6-1 on the S&D.
And I think if I'm Røkkr, I'm less disappointed about this map in particular than I was probably about the search and destroy in map number 2. Mercado 3-1 up, not looking too bad. Great play in the control. And I want to say there is ultimately signs of life a little bit, but it's just not enough. They're finding maps, they're making things close, but they are losing series after series after series. They haven't won one since they looked incredible in Boston at one stage. As soon as that fell off, the wheels fell off the cart completely. I don't know what to suggest for the side of this Minnesota Røkkr team, but this Vegas Legion squad just keep getting better and better. And you absolutely love to see it. They're looking for a winner's bracket spot when we head over to Arlington, Texas. They're not too far off it now, boys.
They certainly are not. Legion in the ascendance. Let's find out what our desk had to make of that game.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. And I was just looking through the numbers. Out of their last 6 matches, the Røkkr have now gone to Game 5 3 times, and they've lost every single one. Vegas comes back to steal the series, one that I thought Røkkr had locked up. Let's talk about the turning points here. Do you want to start with the search and destroy from Vegas, or should we talk about that Game 4, Nameless?
I mean, I think you pick your poison, right? The search and destroy, that's what everybody's going to be on. But that hard point was absolutely wonderful. When you think about that Mercado, you know, it was sort of close in the beginning, and then we see that rotation at top Cantina. Just a beautiful setup, something that Vegas has struggled at. They executed it perfectly, knowing where the spawns are going to be, killing everybody. Barber Alley, every time they needed to pick up that trade down low, they got it. And then, you know, talking about that search and destroy, just a beautiful game 5, man. And when you needed it in that game 2, the 1v1s out of Clay, he won 2 crucial, huge 1v1s with a nice read onto attach. Just a great performance overall.
Ali, I want to jump right into our scuff play of the game. Can you walk me through 2 reels clutch? Explain the scenario and how he is able to win this for the team.
I mean, the bomb's planted, right? So the opportunity here for him is to just get these players off the bomb. Do not let them start that defuse. And the route that he hits here is a little bit risky because you see him backtrack himself. He's going to try and get this kill, doesn't connect. And Minnesota Røkkr could have hopped the bomb by now. They could have started the defuse, but they didn't. And by the time they hit it, 2real hits the route and open. He knows Cammy isn't looking here and gets that player off bomb.
It was just super unorthodox because you see like what Minnesota thinks is going to happen. They close the door because they planted it where you could see it from bottom art, and then he makes noise going back towards their spawn. And Cammy hears that. He hears that sound cue, so he thinks, okay, he's either going to the back or he's going to reach out from doors, but he rewraps and they don't hear him open, and he gets the clutch.
And you can see Clayster fired up. Some big plays in search and destroy. That was our scuff play of the game, but we also have our Hummer extract mode, and this belongs to a guy with the least amount of kills traded after he gets the pick. TJ Halley dropping 7 kills to open the game, including that knife there on Bance, and then he grabs the score streak, of course, the missile that clutches it all in the final round. TJ was on one today.
Yeah, and as if like the series heading into that game 5, giving them a Fortress S&D, that is one of their better S&D maps on the Vegas Legion for this split.
7-0.
But to open it up like that with TJ getting the 2-piece with the knife, I mean, that's already demoralizing for the Minnesota Røkkr.
That's our Hummer extract mode, and now we've got an update on your standings. Everyone at the bottom half of this list was cheering on Røkkr. Now you got the Legion sitting at 2-2. They have 1 match left, and that'll be going up against the Guerrillas as we close out the weekend. But the Royal Ravens, Mutineers, Guerrillas, and Røkkr's run to a top 8 finish just got a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, you know, London Royal Ravens losing is huge for the Vegas Legion, and, you know, they could still even make it in with a 2-3, so they're in a fantastic spot. But, you know, LAG, right, trying to play spoiler, trying to get something done. They still have 2 matches left.
We still get a chance to see LAG versus the Mutineers. That'll be the final match of the day. But before then, make sure to start your digital collection right now with the 2021 Call of Duty League trading cards by Upper Deck, the official trading card partner of the CDL. Collect your favorite teams and players on UpperDeckEpack.com. That's right, UpperDeckEpack.com. Or hit that QR code. Also, we got the watch parties. Ali, any favorites that you've been tuning into throughout the year?
I mean, obviously, even in the green room, I'm tuning in to the Fling. I'm tuning in to Scump's watch party, but I know there's plenty of other people on our list as well, and you could join as well.
Yeah, get in on that action. So much fun. We're going to be talking with TJ Halley on the other side of the break. When we come back, we got TJ and also the final match on Friday. Who's going to challenge for the top 8? Is it going to be Florida, or do the Guerrillas have enough in the tank to make a magical run? There we go. Miraculous. We'll see you after this. Welcome back. It's the headquarters crew, Puckett, Alleycat, and Nameless, and we've got one match still to go here on the day. Before we get to that Guerrillas versus Mutineers battle, though, we want to talk to a member of the winning team from our previous match. TJ joins us live from his search and destroy compound somewhere in Philadelphia. TJ, talk to me about that last game. You opened it up with a 7-0, and you sealed the deal with a missile.
Yeah, I mean, my team just lets me do whatever I want on that map, and I just got a crazy ace round 1 and just carried momentum throughout the rest of that map, and we clutched up. Played it pretty flawlessly. That's our best map, so happy we clutched up.
Did the knife feel good on Bance? Because that was probably the highlight for me.
Yeah, dude, I thought it was like, I knew it couldn't be my teammate, but like usually when that happens, I'm like, oh my god, that might be my teammate, but I just like knifed him, and it worked out.
It's getting the hands either way. I like that answer.
TJ, congrats on a huge W. I just want to ask you guys about your control. Obviously, we're really close to the major right now. Is that something you guys are still continually struggling on, or was it just a couple missteps in this series?
Yeah, we're still kind of struggling on it. We're working on it every day in practice, but I think we threw away, especially that defense, we threw that away. But we knew like we were playing pretty good, or we were throwing away a lot of situations that were kind of in our favor.
Yeah.
But yeah, control is still probably one of our biggest weaknesses right now, and hopefully we can, clean that up a little bit going into the major.
Teach, congratulations on the win. You're absolutely frying. I wanted to ask you, you guys seem like you're right in the mix, like middle of the pack team that has potential to get to that top echelon. What do you think is the biggest challenge for you guys going forward?
Just staying consistent in response. Control, like Ali said, is probably our biggest weakness right now. And hardpoint, we've been looking a lot better in hardpoint since 2-0 came on the team. So control is still our issue. S&D is still looking good. Just gotta, clean up the respawns, hardpoint control.
TJ's going through the numbers with our stats wizard, and basically all the teams below you on the leaderboard were hoping for a Vegas loss today. You guys clutch up with the win, but we do have an important matchup coming up next. So help the chat out. Who has a better chance of challenging you for the A spot? Is it the Florida Mutineers, who are 1-3, or the 0-3 LA Guerrillas?
Probably Florida, right? They're 1-3. I think they play each other too next match, right? So yep. I mean, whoever wins that match probably the best.
You got TJ's prediction in there right there. Take it, ladies and gentlemen. TJ, any words for your fans before we head to Texas next week?
Thank you guys for supporting. Hopefully we can come up with a win tomorrow and get the winner's bracket and make a run at the major.
That's TJ Howley. He's calling Florida in this next matchup, and lock in, because that game comes up right now. It's happening. I promise you. It's coming. Not that one, this one.
All shadows, ground team is mobile. Keep them covered.
Eyes watching for the opposition. How they crushing any competition. Long range, yeah, I got the vision. When I'm in the trenches, anyone can get it. I'm with the team when they need me. Or out on a dolo mission. Nigga rocky riding on this road to riches. If I catch you slipping, then it's over finished. War, ready, crew, coming through, heavy. Aim steady, lights out as the gorillas. Not any winner, one out of many. Fine talents, empty, lights out as the gorillas.
We close out the night with an epic battle between the Florida Mutineers and the LA Guerrillas. Both teams desperate for a victory as we're in the final week of qualifiers before heading down to the OpTic Texas Major number 3. Winner of this one tonight stays in the mix. Loser out of the running for a top 8 and a spot in our winners bracket. Let's start here with the LA Guerrillas and talk about Arcides in this crew. He's brought on Assault, Exceed, Joe Deceives from the Challengers team. They had early success in the online qualifiers. Since then, it has been a downward spiral.
They have the front cap and the backward cap, meaning Florida should be looking ahead and behind throughout this entire series. I think the biggest story when it comes to LA Guerrillas is they get right to the edge with some of these teams. They push them a little bit to limit. They get to these game 5s and they just seriously struggle to close it out. But it's not just against the top teams, it's against everybody, which is why they're in this bottom 4 position, trying to fight their way, even just to not go 0-5 this split in.
Yeah, I mean, well, with LAG, right, this is a team that found success when they were winning hardpoints. You think back to their academy team, probably one of the best hardpoints in challengers, or best hardpoint teams in challengers. They brought that in initially when they joined the squad with our season, and they've completely lost it. They are the worst throughout this entire stage when it comes to rotation win percentage. That simply just has to be better, right? Because they've shown they can be formidable at times in Search and Destroy, but they haven't been icy in the clutch scenarios. So the respawn has to get fixed. And in this series, it's a big opportunity, right? Like, you win these next two, you could potentially get in the mix, maybe get a tiebreaker, but it's been a struggle with 5 straight losses.
Everyone knows what Arcides has accomplished in his career. We all talk about his ring, but no one's talking about Assault and how he got his back in World War II. Today, he's my player to watch, and you could see how much losing that 1v1 against London Royal Ravens in that round 11 hurt him. He personally took offense to their loss in that series. Today, he's looking to drop some numbers.
And to that point, I mean, game 3 of that series versus London, I mean, he was the one that pops that huge 7 straight